Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I thought it'd be interesting to go over the family tree. Ooh, they're asking me a little question. Ooh, in range to earn the responsible trait. That's why I'm such a good parent, but you're going to think I'm not a good parent once you see this family tree. So I'm going to start with this one, Luke Reaper. So let's see. Show the genealogy. So here we start with Luke Reaper, like I just said. He's the son of Lucy Frost, who is the daughter of Santa Claus, and Grim Reaper, if you couldn't already tell by the last name. He died by drowning. She died by sunlight because she was a vampire, and she was outside building a little tree house for her son, and she started burning. And I think it's interesting, the juxtaposition that she died in the sunlight and he died in the water. The parallelism. Crazy, I know. So then let's move up the family tree. So like I said, her dad is Father Winter Clement Frost. And in Sims, Father Winter is basically Santa Claus. He comes during Christmas or whatever the winter holiday is and gives gifts. That's her father. Father Winter. So maybe I should have named her Winter instead of Lucy Frost. But no, I wanted to keep going with the names because as you go up, you'll see how there's that little theme. So there's Lucy, then Lucia, her mom. And her mom died in a fire, which... Sunlight, fire, look at that. Parallelism. What did I say? And then her mom died in fire too. Oh my gosh, there are a lot of fires. There are a lot of fires, and I promise none of them are my fault. They are not my fault. So then we go over to Lucas B. So there's Lucas, then there was Lucia, then there was Lucy, and now there's Luke. I wanted to do that whole name stem thing, and it worked out. I don't remember his name. Oh, Don, he wasn't doing anything relevant. So they just started with a new, chain of names. I think his name came in a randomizer, actually, if I'm being honest. But let's keep going. So here you can notice that there are, two stems. Basically, when I started this family generations ago, I've been playing for this family for, 3 years. When I started this family, it was 3 main girls. This one, and the other one, which I'll talk about later. But they started, and then they had a bunch of kids. But... By the time they had their second generation, those kids got married. So there was my Andrea, then there was a Lucas. And then they had Lucia, Lucia had Lucy, and Lucy had Luke, as you guys can already see. But she's normal, but this whole chain of people, they're mermaids. She was a mermaid matriarch, then her daughter was a mermaid, her granddaughter was a mermaid. She missed the gene, maybe it has something to do with Santa Claus, infecting the genes or something. But then she became a vampire. That's how she died in the sunlight. And then he's just normal, but I think I might want to make him a vampire because I feel like if you're the son of Grim Reaper, you have to have something freaky about you besides your little mermaid genes that aren't really resonating. They're not manifesting because he's not a mermaid. Hopefully his kids are. Otherwise, we're kind of cooked. But let's keep going. So she has a sibling, does she? One thing I'm going to talk about in their family tree that makes no sense is this random kid. I don't know where she came from. I think somebody she was dating adopted a kid, and this is her. She has a whole kid too. How is this part of the whole family tree? The math isn't mathing. It's not making sense. But she has another kid, Luca LeBlanc. So the Luke thing kept going throughout all the generations. But her, Carrie Shukri, who are you? Nobody asked for you. I don't know where you came from. But let's keep going. So she had a sister who died, Angel Romeo. She died by freezing. She died by fire. Literally, what is this juxtaposition? But she had 2 daughters, and then those were their kids, and so on and so on. Like I said, these people are normal. This one is a mermaid, and then she made the family tree be mermaids. She was a mermaid too before she died. I think she died in the water during winter, actually, which is a bit poetic, if you will. So now let's move on to, how can I see? Okay. So somehow he has some random brother that was simply never born, or was he born? I don't know where he went. I don't know how is this a thing? Let's see his family tree. Brother, father, and that's it. Who are you, Alexi? Who are you? But if we jump back around, we can see how all of the family trees are connected. So like I talked about, there's a Lucia. But Lucia's mom, is it? Or Lucia's mom has a brother because he adopted a kid named Orion. And Orion, was he a witch or his kid is a witch? But Orion's sister is my Andrea, who's the mermaid. He was a cook, and then he had a son named Mercury. You see this little celestial theme they got going on because they're all witches. But how do I find the matriarch? Okay, I'll find the patriarch. So this is his daughter Luna, who was a little witch. She's one of the best, most powerful witches I ever had. She died and then she resurrected herself. I don't even know how that happened, but there was a lot of death going on, so I really needed her and her resurrecting powers to help, keep the family afloat, to make sure that the generations didn't run out. But her son, Mercury, she had a son, Luna and Orion, like the whole, like, astronomy thing they have going on. Luna and Orion had a kid named Mercury. And then Mercury had two daughters, Gala and Jupiter. Jupiter died in a fire. She died of old age, which is kind of weird because she died a while ago and she's the youngest sister. So I'm just going to exit out of this guy's, of Luke Reaper's whole genealogy and go into Pluto. As you can see, I named them like after planet things because they're all witches. And I think witches connect to that kind of thing. And it makes sense in my head. So we have Pluto. Pluto's parents were normal. His dad, normal. Actually, no, his mom was a witch. She just died. Both of them just died. He was orphaned as a child, and now he's a high schooler. They were just old. That's all that happened. They didn't, like, get killed or anything. She was just old, like. And then here's her. Constance Delgado is Gala's mother. Gala, short for Galaxy, if you couldn't tell already. But who is that? We don't even know. But if we go to Mercury, he had two daughters, Jupiter and Gala, which I talked about previously. But Jupiter didn't have any kids. Jupiter didn't have much going on for her. She was a cook. She was a witch. She died. That's what happened. And her mom actually married him. So let's go back up and let's see what's going on. So yeah, like I said, Luna and Orion and then Mercury and that whole thing. This whole like family tree is a family tree of witches because she's a witch, then she was a witch, then their kid was a witch, then both of them were a witch. And let's hope he has the witch genes, otherwise this is going to get pretty boring. The mermaid gene, dead. The witch gene, hopefully it's not dead. And now let's move finally. This is just his fiance, but let's go into his family tree. So like I said, by the time it got to him, these families were already connected, and I guess this family is also connected to the witch family, so they had a good chance of being mermaids or witches at one point, which I thought was cool. But now that kind of died off with the dead mermaid, Lucy. She just died, by the way, which I'm still taken aback by. But her brother is a mermaid? Werewolf? He's a mermaid? He has the mermaid gene in him somewhere. And his dad was Chase, and his mom was Lucia. She died in a fire, as we already went over. There are so many deaths in this family, and they're not my fault, I promise. I think she died by electricity. He died old age, fire. That's when it starts getting wonky. By the time it got to the second generation, they were dropping like flies. But yeah, that's pretty much the family tree. I want to show you guys the cemetery. I'll do a whole other video, like, showcasing the cemetery. But, like, look how many deaths this family has had. I'll go throughout all the names and tell all their stories one day. But I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching.